Welcome to this yoga flow. My name is Melissa, and for today's class, we will just need one block. So if you have that block handy, go ahead and grab it. We're going to get started in Virasana, Hiro's pose. So placing the block between your heels, take a seat back. Get comfortable, finding a tall spine, relaxing your hands on your thighs and closing the eyes. Take a full breath in through your nose. And exhale it out the mouth. Just settling into this space, coming present into this moment, to this class, tuning in to the body, noticing if you're holding in any stress, any tension. And just take your next breath in to fill yourself up with energy and exhale any of that tension or stress away. Bring your hands to your heart center, thumbs pressing into the chest, bowing your forehead down, and just taking a moment here to set an intention for today's class. Whether it's to be present or to offer some self-love, just set something simple for you to come back to throughout the practice. Gently bringing the hands down beside your hips, open the eyes, and as you inhale, bring the arms up to about shoulder height, interlace the fingers and press them away from you, stretching out through the forearms and wrists. As you take your next inhale, reach the arms up overhead, gaze up at your fingers. And as you exhale, let the hands come down beside you, relaxing the shoulders. Good. Once again, bring the arms up, interlace the fingers, press them away from you. As you inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, hands float back down. We'll do that one more time. Deep breath in, reach the arms shoulder height, interlace those fingers, press them away from you. Feel that stretch in your forearms. Inhaling to bring the arms up. Exhale, let the arms float back down. Moving into seated cat-cow, bring the hands onto your thighs. Take a deep breath in, lift the chest, curve the spine, and look up. Open up the throat. Exhale and curl everything in, really pushing your shoulder blades back. Inhale, find length, lift the heart. Find that your movement is coming from your shoulder blades. We really want to be opening up that thoracic area in today's class. Keep moving, couple more breaths here. Last one, rounding through the spine, tucking the chin to your chest, really spreading those shoulders apart. And come back up to a neutral spine. We're going to take that block and place it between your thighs. We're going to do a little bit of core activation, coming into a plank. So fully extended arms, hands underneath the shoulders, come onto your toes. Of course, at any point, you can always modify and come onto your knees for this one. I want you to squeeze your inner thighs, thinking about engaging your glutes, pulling your navel to your spine, and then we're going to rock here. So we're getting a little bit of warm up in those wrists as we shift our body weight forward, rolling onto the toes, and then shift and push your heels back. Now let's do that a few times, moving as far as you can, feeling that strength in your arms, in your core, in your inner thighs. Coming back to center, holding for one more moment here. Squeeze into the block, squeeze your glutes. And then gently drop the knees to the mat. Remove the block to the side. We're going to come into our first downward facing dog. Lift those hips up towards the ceiling. Press those heels down as you drop your chest towards your thighs. Take a full breath in here. And exhale it out. From here, walking the toes to the top of the mat, finding your forward fold. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Press down and reach up as you inhale. Reach those arms above. Gaze at your thumbs. Exhale, hands by your side, mountain pose. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms up. Exhale and fold forward. Flat back on your inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root down, rise up, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, forward, fold. We're taking it down and holding this for a moment. Bring your belly right onto your thighs. Maybe shake your head outside to side. Really thinking about that nice big stretch in your back body. The whole posterior chain from your feet all the way to the crown of your head. Take one more full inhale here. And exhale. Hands to your shins. Inhale, find that flat back. And exhale, fold forward. Root down, rise up, coming all the way up and finding mountain pose. Moving into our step backs. Let's take a deep breath in, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. As you inhale, step your right foot back, drop your knee, and keep your hands on the mat. Just let those hips sink down, lifting the chest, finding a nice stretch into the hip flexor. On your next inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into plank. First one, we're going to drop the knees, belly, all the way down to the mat. Untuck the toes, finding little cobra. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. On your inhale, taking that right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it in between the hands, drop the left knee, and once again, just keeping those fingertips on the mat, thinking about sinking your hips down, maintaining that front knee over your ankle. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, mountain pose. Other side, take a deep breath in, reach the arms up. Exhale and fold. Left foot stepping back. Find that lunge this time. You can either keep your hands on the floor for stability or inhale, reach them overhead. Pull that belly button to your spine, lift your heart, crown of your head. Get really tall through your spine here. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands come down, step back into plank. This time you can do Chaturanga Dhanurasana, lowering halfway or drop to those knees. And then inhale, cobra or upward facing. If you're an upward facing, you're on the tops of your feet, thighs aren't touching the floor. Curling the toes under, let's lift your hips up into downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step that foot through. Right knee drops, inhale, arms reach up. Find your breath, connect into this moment. Connect to the power of the breath, the power that it brings to this present moment. We're going to take those hands down, step forward, and forward fold. Belly on your thighs. Inhale, root down, rise those arms up, and exhale, hands by your side. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Half a lift on your inhale. Exhale, step, stepper, hop your way back to a plank. Lowering down, Chaturanga Dhanurasana. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Gonna bring those big toes together. I want you to bend the knees. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, little hop between your hands. Halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, root down. Rise all the way up. And exhale, float the hands back down, mountain pose. Good. We're going to go into Siri Namaskar B. Chair pose to start. Big toes touching. Inhale, reach the arms up as you sit the hips back. Take a peek down, see all 10 toes. See if you can bring a little bit more heat into those legs, lowering your hips down. Inhale, one more time. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale, step, step, or hop back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Good. Taking that right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend the knees, stack the hip, open up. Square the hips, take that right foot in between the hands. Back heel drops, 45-degree angle. We're coming up into our warrior one, Urdhva Dhanurasana 1. Key thing to protect that front knee, keep it stacked over your ankle. Woo, fallen. Find that stability from the ground up, feeling connected to the root of your feet into the mat, and lift your heart. Exhale, hands come down, step back into plank. Slightly reach your heart forward, rolling onto the toes, and then lower down on your exhale. Inhale into your back bend, cobra, or maybe upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. As you inhale, reach that left leg into the air. Bend the knee, stack the hip. And then square the hips back off, step forward. Again, warrior one. Reach the arms up as you get strong into those legs. Pressing down to the lateral edge of your back foot, really thinking about pushing down on that pinky side. Inhale, lengthening your heart up. Exhale, hands come down, step back into plank. Again, shift your weight forward onto the balls of the feet. Lower down. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Inhale through your nose. And exhale out your mouth. One more time. So good. Bring those big toes together. Bend the knees. Look where you're going. I want you to take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, a little hop to the top. Halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale, forward fold. As you come up, we're going into chair pose, Utkatasana. Sink the hips down, squeeze your inner thighs, and lift, lengthen your heart up. Inhale, rise all the way. Exhale, float the hands down. Bring your hands to your heart for a moment, connecting back to this present moment. Very beautiful. From the top here, I'm going to step my left foot back into warrior two stance. So the back toes face the side of the mat. Open the arms out to the side and find again that strength and stability in your legs. Inhale. Exhale. Let's bring that elbow to your front knee. Swoop that left arm up and around. Gaze at your elbow. Sinking into our sideways angle, Kunasana. Thinking about that rib cage. Really allow the rib cage to open up towards the ceiling. And breathe into that. On your next inhale, come back to warrior two. Reaching out through all 10 fingers. And then I'm going to bring my hands down to the mat and square off my hips, bringing my hips into a neutral stance. From here, left hand stays on the mat, right arm reaches up into a twist. Sink the hips down, open the heart. Breathe in. Let it go. Good. Right hand comes back down, and we're going to shimmy that right foot over to the right side of the mat. Hands on the inside. Drop the left knee, lift the chest. Lizard's pose. Thinking about really opening that left hip flexor, sinking the hips down as best you can. Lift the heart, the spine. One more breath here. I'm going to press into my hands and reach the right leg back into a downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Let it go. We're going to take our time here, just walking our toes to the top of the mat, pulling that navel to your spine, finding your forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, come all the way up, reaching the arms with you. Exhale, hands by your side. Right foot is going to step back, warrior two. So again, those back toes open up to the side, arms reach out. Find that stability in your legs. Lifting the heart. Finding the strength within our warrior two. And your next inhale, drop that elbow to your knee, swoop that right arm up and over, and allow yourself to really open up towards the ceiling. Finding that little bit of rotation from your heart center, your rib cage. On your next inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, pivot onto the back foot. High lunge here. And then we're going to move into our twist. Right hand stays on the floor, left arm reaching up. Really thinking about turning the pinky towards the camera or the computer, phone, whatever you're watching this on. Finding that little bit of rotation in the shoulder to really help it open up. Good. We're going to take that hand down, coming into lizard pose. So shimmy that left foot to the left, drop your back knee and open your heart. If you can squeeze into your glutes, that's going to help the hip flexors to open up here, creating a little bit of engagement on the opposite side to allow those hips to open up. Beautiful. We're going to come back into our downward facing dog. Let's step that left foot back. Take one breath here. Shifting your weight forward into a plank and then taking your time to lower all the way to your belly. We're going to come into cobra, keeping the hands underneath the shoulders. Engage the glutes here and lengthen your spine up. I want you to think about using the strength of your back rather than your arms on this first one. We want to create that strength in the extensors along the spine. See if you can come up just a little bit more, using the strength of your back. And then exhale and just relax down for a moment. Maybe shake your hips side to side. We're going to next come into our Sphinx Pose, elbows underneath the shoulders, palms on the mat. So this is a really great way to find a back bend that's not too aggressive. We can support ourselves here on our forearms. Once again, thinking about moving my tailbone down towards my heels and engaging my glutes. And if you feel pretty good here, you feel like you could go into a further back bend, we're going to press into the palms and come up into a seal pose. And if you feel like you could do more, walking the hands closer to you, constantly thinking about lifting from the center of your chest, shoulders down, finding that beautiful extension through the spine. Good. If you want to take this even further, you can bend the knees and see if you can tap those toes to your head. One day we'll get there. And then relax everything down and press yourself into child's pose. Taking the knees wide, toes together, bowing your forehead to the mat. One more breath here. Press into the palms of the hands, come back onto hands and knees, and then into your downward facing dog. Taking little steps to the top of the mat, finding our forward fold, Uttanasana. Big toes together. We're going to come into chair pose, Utkatasana. Squeezing those inner thighs, engaging your abdominal muscles. With a little bit of balance here, we're going to put all of our weight into our left foot and reach that right foot back behind us, coming into a high lunge. Thinking about lifting that back heel and then pressing it away from you like there's a wall behind you, creating that strength through the length of your whole leg. You feel the glutes, the hamstrings. Good. Take one more breath in here. Reach up from your arms and then exhale, hands come down. Once again, opening up into a twist, reaching the left arm up towards the sky. We're going to drop the back knee, and if it's available, picking up the back foot. See if you can reach around, grab for that back foot on the pinky side edge of the foot, and opening up into this twisted monkey, dropping the hips, opening the heart, and really thinking about that back extension again. We're getting a little bit of back bend here. Inhale, exhale. Coming back to that present moment. Moment to moments. We are here, we are now. Drop that back foot. Bring your hand forward. Good. And from here, downward facing dog, stepping back. One breath in. Exhale it out. Either a little hop or walk your feet to the top of the mat. And inhale into our chair pose once again. Inhale. Exhale. Place the weight into the left foot this time. Right leg starts to balance, coming off the mat and stepping back, finding our high lunge or crescent moon. Squeeze into those glutes, feeling the strength in your legs. Lots of legs today. We're going to drop our hands down. Let's take that left hand to the mat. Right arm reaching up, opening into a twist. Thinking about those shoulder blades coming down your back. Good. Drop the back knee. Pick up the back foot if it's available. You can always use pops for this one. They're magical for this one. Right. Adjust where you need to. Sometimes I'll take my left hand either off the mat or on a block just to create more space. Squeeze into that left glute, really opening up the hip. Perfect. Let's release the foot and hands come down. We're going to step back into plank this time and then coming down onto the elbows. I want the elbows right underneath your shoulders, so make sure they're fairly snug, and then your thumbs are going to be right beside each other, fingers spread wide. From here, we're going to come into Dolphin Pose, lifting the hips up, walking the toes in, creating some strength in those shoulders. Pressing down firmly into those forearms and lifting the hips up high. See if you can take one more step in. Woo! Building strength. Yes, we are. Take one more inhale here. Exhale it out. Good. We're going to drop our knees down and take a lovely child's pose. Knees wide, toes together. Bow the forehead. One more breath. Press into the palms of the hands. Lift yourself up. We're just going to take a seat, rolling over onto one hip, and then make your way down onto your back. Setting up for bridge pose, finding a back extension. So it's hard to see your feet right now, but just imagine that they're about hip distance apart and your toes are pointing forward. Place your hands down beside your hips. And just thinking about a slight tuck of the tailbone. So you're scooping the tailbone towards your heels. Your low back might flatten slightly. And from here, lift the hips up. Squeezing into the back side, really emphasizing the hamstrings and the glutes. And then if it feels good for your body, you can shimmy one shoulder under and then the other, maybe interlacing the fingers underneath your back. Really opening up from the chest and shoulders. So this pose is one of my favorites because it's strengthening the backside, which tends to be a tad bit weaker on most, right, if we do a lot of sitting. And then we're opening that front side, which does certainly have a tendency to tighten up. So let's hold it here for a couple more breaths. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Squeeze those glutes. One more breath. And as you exhale, if your hands are together, release them. Gently lower your spine all the way down to the tailbone. And just take one inhale here. Fill the belly, the rib cage, the chest. And exhale it all out. So, second back bend, you have options. You can stay in that bridge that we just did or join me in wheel. Everything that we've been doing has been preparation for wheel, so hopefully it'll feel good today. If it's not in your practice, then you can try it, but if it doesn't feel safe, don't do it. Stay in bridge. So I'm going to place my hands underneath my shoulders, my fingers pointing down towards my heels. Gotta get that hair out of the way. Put your elbows up to the ceiling, squeeze your inner thighs towards one another, lift your hips up into a bridge, and then up onto the top of your head. From there, press the floor away from you, lengthening your heart forward, squeezing those glutes, finding again that engagement through the backside, opening on the front. Full breath in, full breath out. Tuck the chin as you slowly make your exit out of wheel, slowly curling the spine back down, and then hug the knees into your chest, squeeze into your low back, decompress the spine. Moving into happy baby. Let's bring the soles of the feet to the ceiling. Hands to the inside of the legs. Grab the outsides of the feet and drive those knees down. Anchoring your tailbone and low back into the mat. And if it feels good, rocking left to right. Placing a little bit of pressure into that low back. All right. From here, let's bring those knees together, hands behind the thighs, and roll yourself up. We're going to come into Janu Shirshasana for a little side bend. Straighten out the right leg. Bring the left sole of the foot in. We'll reach the right arm down the leg. Left arm is going to reach up. Find length in your spine as you inhale. Exhale and side bend. Once again, thinking about spiraling the rib cage and the chest up a little bit, opening the body, and breathe into that. On your next inhale, let's reach that left arm up towards the sky. Float it back down. We'll switch right into the other side. Left leg extending out, right leg in. Let's inhale that right arm up and exhale, side bend. Thinking about anchoring down through that right hip, really rooting into the mat to create more length through the low back, the lats, all the way out through your arm and fingertips. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, reach that right arm up towards the ceiling. We'll bring it together, legs together for Paschimottanasana, forward fold. So we're thinking about drawing the inner thighs together. Sit really tall, inhale, reach the arms up. Take that forward fold, melting over your thighs. Every exhale expanding through your belly, belly touching thighs. Exhaling, pull navel to spine, create more space to go a little bit deeper into that stretch. One more inhale here. Stay for the exhale. Keep your chin tucked to your chest as you slowly curl your spine back up to neutral. Taking the shoulders back, then head lifts. Good. From here, just scooching yourself up towards the top of the mat and slowly lowering down onto your back. Once you get there, take the knees out to the side, coming into our Urdhva Kanasana. Just allowing the hips to open up and relax. Every inhale starts from the pelvic floor, expands up into the belly, rib cage, and all the way into your chest and collarbones. Very full, expansive breaths in. And as you exhale, it reverses everything, pushing out, completely emptying your body of air. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale from the pelvic floor, belly, rib cage, chest. And exhale, push all the air out gently. Last one, full, expansive inhale. Exhale every last bit of air out. Coming back to a normal inhale and exhale. Breathing in and out through your nose. Tapping into any sensations that are coming up, noticing them. And then shifting your mindfulness, your awareness to the breath. Is there any sensations that come up when you inhale and exhale? Maybe you feel a slight temperature change just below your nostrils on your upper lip. Very subtle sensations. Those subtle sensations are what bring us back to this present moment. Sometimes our minds can be very all over the place. So bringing it back to that one pointed focus. It can be so simple as a sensation on your body. To remove yourself from the monkey mind, the stress of life, and bring it back to simplicity. We're going to spend a few more breaths here. I encourage you to find complete stillness. And just slowly coming out of the pose, we'll just bring the knees slowly together, feet flat on the floor. Wiggling the fingers. And stretch the arms up past your head. A big morning stretch. And as you exhale, bring your knees into your chest, hug everything in. Rolling over onto your right side and then sitting yourself up. Thank you so much for completing the practice with me today, taking the time to show up for yourself. The light in me honors, respects, and sees the light in you. Namaste.